Ciao everybody, welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. My name is Julian Gennady and we're giving you a daily news update. I haven't been on the channel for a while, other commitments, bachelor parties, whatnot, but I come back to this shithole that is Juventus and we've completely done a 180 on everything. I'll let you know what's going on. It's David, it's Kessie, it's Lukaku, it's now. Welcome back. So like I said, it's been a shit show since I've been off for the past couple weeks or so. I don't remember the last time I came on the channel, but 3 months ago or so, it was all about Project Youth. It was about the U23 setup, the Primavera, graduating all these players into the first team, whatnot, blah, blah, blah. We're going with under 23s. Pivot, Giuntoli's here. Doesn't matter. We're still going away from that. We see that Matthias Sule is on the list to go away. We see that Moretti's probably on his way out. Cambiaso might be sold for big bucks. We know Dusan Vlahovic is coming up later. So we were either lied to, which makes sense, or there's no plan with the club, and there never has been a plan with the club, and it's always go with the flow, which is probably true. Or it's a new sporting director coming in and trying to make whatever relationship salvageable with the current head coach. And it might be a bit of the second and third things I just said. Going with the flow and new sporting director trying to mesh with the new coach, or the same head coach. Regardless, horrible planning. It's July 16th at the time of recording. We have one incoming signing. It's Timothy Weah. Not even seen him in practice yet. Chiesa still hasn't started practice yet. Ravella still hasn't practiced yet. We're going to the States. The first game of the U.S. tour is July 22nd. I believe that's a Saturday. So I believe we're going to go out to the U.S. on at least Thursday to get acclimated with the time change and everything. Maybe even Wednesday. And Dusan Vlahovic, if he makes it to the plane ride, I don't see him being sold anytime soon. So this upcoming week's going to be massive. And if nothing happens, I think the start of our season is going to be, like the first couple months is going to be absolutely down the tank. And I already think that it's going to happen anyway. So let's get into the news. First is from Nico Shira, and it's about my Canadian compatriot, Jonathan David. The report is as follows. It should be noted that Allegri wants Romelu Lukaku, with whom he has been talking to since late March. Bizarre story. The whole thing about Lukaku. He just, I'm doing this at Sunday morning, or Saturday evening at 12:30 a.m. On July 16th, Eastern Standard Time. And Lukaku just dropped Rock Nation as his agents. So it's a whole big deal with Lukaku and whatever's happening now. So he's just dropped his agents, Rock Nation, and he's just going with his lawyers at this point. I think his name's Ledure or something. I don't know. But there's drama there, especially with Inter, with Chelsea. And he wants Juve. He doesn't want the Saudi Arabian teams. He wants Juve. Crazy, crazy turn of events. Giuntoli's favorite option was Jonathan David. He took into account David's potential for growth and the more favorable salary expenses. So yeah, obviously Lukaku's salary is reported around 10 to 12, depending on what sources you look at. Then you get the growth decree at least with Lukaku. That's a little bit of a positive. But if you got Jonathan David, it'd be like the same amount to pay for him probably in terms of the transfer fee. But then you pay David like 2 million euros a season. Whereas Lukaku, you are 6 timesing it. But again, the growth decree will make it stomachable for the front office to say, yeah, go ahead and do that deal. And then, of course, Max Allegri actually wants Lukaku and not Johnny David. So there's that. I would in an ideal world, I know it's either or in this case, but if you had Johnny David and Lukaku up top, that would make sense in terms of a support striker and big, tall target man. That could be a chemistry, a duo that would be worth looking at. But if it's either or, you might as well get David still, because then you'll have Milik up top. So, especially if you're going with two players up top. And then there's like, this is such a mess here. It's such a mess. I don't know what formation we're doing. If it's 4-3-1-2, what's the point of Chiesa on this team? Anyways, that's a whole different scenario. That's David's news. We'll move on to Frank Kessie. This is from Fabrizio Romano, who has been tweeting a lot of he's tweeted about a lot of Juventus news that's never materialized. So he tweeted about Castagna, he tweeted about Thomas Partey, now he's tweeting about Frank Kessie. Obviously he's tweeted about the Lukaku news, which is pretty concrete, but the Partey, Kessie, Castagna news, it's all like, usually when he starts tweeting about something, it materializes, but I think Juventus has thrown a wrench into every journalist's workload, and nobody knows what's going on here because they don't even know what's going on here. So Fabrizio takes this one and says, Kessie continues to be a top priority target for Juventus. So it was Partey 2 weeks ago. It was Milinkovic-Savic 2 weeks ago. But now it's Kessie. The club's intention is to persist in their pursuit in the coming days and assess whether the player would be open to making the move. Kessie has previously expressed a desire to either stay at Barcelona or explore a Premier League experience. Nevertheless, Juventus will make efforts to push for the transfer. So, I'm assuming if Frank goes and tells the Barcelona board and his agent, yeah, I can go to Juventus, he'll be a Juventus player at this point. I don't think Barcelona wants to keep him. I don't blame Barcelona because they don't play, or Kessie isn't part of their freestyling, tiki-taka, move the ball type of style play in midfield. They got Gavi, Pedri, De Jong. Now they got Gundogan. Kessie, not enough room for him. So now he's going to, if he does come to Juventus, he's an absolute powerhouse in midfield to go along with the powerhouse of Rabiot, to go along with the powerhouse of Pogba, Locatelli. They're all big, strong dudes in midfield. And then you got Fagioli. But you have absolute units on your team in midfield. I think that's Max Allegri's typical prototype to be a midfielder for his teams. He does score a lot of goals in Serie A, or when he played in Serie A with Milan. A lot of penalties, but still scored plenty of goals. Sure, bring him in, but only if he wants to, obviously. If he doesn't want to, then I would stop pursuing this. And then if Frank Kessie does come, Moretti's out the door. Rovella or Fagioli could be on thin ice here. Maybe not Fagioli, maybe more so Rovella. I don't agree with it, but this is Max's world and we're just living in it. And Gentoli is literally feeding Allegri. So, there's nothing else to say about this. This is poor planning. It's just a chaotic summer. Everything about it's been chaotic. A lot of panicking. A lot of nobody's thinking anything through. If Juventus just weren't stubborn, if they just thought, hey, if we keep Vlahovic and Chiesa and we just don't sign anybody, would that be the biggest issue? Maybe, but can you just eat the money? Probably. Because they've done it in the past. So, I don't know. I don't think everyone's thinking this through, and there's a lot of panicking here. And then we'll go to Lukaku news, which is just the most chaotic thing I've ever seen in my life. Oops. Wait. Okay. So, as I mentioned before, Inter has officially ended discussions with Lukaku and has notified Chelsea that they are withdrawing their interest. And this decision stems from Lukaku's ongoing negotiations with Juventus. Juventus are prepared to offer a 40 million euro transfer fee, so it's 37.5 plus 2.5 bonuses, and a 4-year contract ready for Lukaku. However, the completion of this deal is only available if Vlahovic goes to PSG. And then they give the date of August 4th for some reason. August 4th is probably an arbitrary number. We know that Juventus will still be in the United States of America until at least the 2nd, because that's when their last match day is against Real Madrid, I believe. So they'll probably leave on the 3rd to come back home. Is that the magic day, the 4th? I don't know. I don't know why August 4th is such a key day. Does the Premier League start? I don't even know when the Premier League starts. I know Serie A starts August 19th. So I don't know what the deal is there, but Vlahovic looks like he's going to PSG. In everybody's mind, in the footballing world, everyone thinks he's going there. So we'll see about that. But let me know what you think. There's no other word than chaos and lack of process. Those are the 4 key words. Who knows? Something might even happen today after this video comes up, because it's been so chaotic. At the beginning of the transfer window, we were talking about fullbacks, and now we're talking about Lukaku and Frank Kessie, a central midfielder and a striker. We don't even know what we need anymore. Well, I know what we need. My club doesn't know what we need anymore. But thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for our latest videos and content. It's going to be busy. It's going to be chaotic in the sense of rumors and news. Not so sure about actual business. But yeah, follow us on all social media platforms at Bianconeri Zone, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Let us know what you think. Drop a like. Please like the video, actually. Don't just drop one. Please press it and like it. And we'll see you next time. Ciao.